Nigeria enters 2026 at a critical crossroads as government claims of economic progress meet widespread public frustration over rising costs, insecurity, and gaps in basic services. While GDP growth and inflation show signs of stabilization, millions of Nigerians, especially the youth, who make up 70% of the population, are increasingly vocal, using technology and grassroots organizing to demand accountability. External pressures are also mounting, with the U.S. labeling Nigeria a country of particular concern over religious violence, raising the risk of sanctions. Earlier on Newsday, my colleague Niyi Oyelowo and I were joined by political analyst Victor Ani to discuss these challenges and what they mean for the nation's path in the year ahead.
I would say currently the current administration, they are not doing that. I think one of the sad story or one of the sad thing that is going on right now is that the current administration, especially the political class, they are trying to undermine the people, especially the young people. They're trying to hold them down so that they don't rise to take power from them. So they don't want to give the young people an opportunity to strive in business. They don't want them to be schooled, well educated. They don't want them to have good jobs, and they don't give them good political appointments. So they are keeping the younger generation down so that they don't have the capacity, they don't have the finance muscle, they don't have the structure that will enable this younger generation who are tired of these old guards, to take over power from them. But going forward, we know that the story will be a different story come 2027.
All right. Let's go a little bit way back. When it comes to youth participation in governance, as it were, in political terms, I remember the previous administration brought out the Not Too Young to Wrong bill. So how much has that encourage youth to participate in what goes on in their communities in terms of governance, as it were? And have they actually been encouraged since that time till now? Yes, we're talking about, the challenges you've just highlighted. Yeah. But are we seeing a willingness on the part of the youth themselves, to actively engage in politics, as it were, and not just a matter of, your father was a politician and he put you in a public office, as we're seeing in some circles recently from Lagos to other parts of the country. So, as it were, I'd like your thoughts on that.
Okay, so just like I said before, it's a system within a political class to make sure that the young Nigerians, they don't rise to power.
Maybe a selected few.
Not really.
Okay. Because
even the APC-led administration that even signed a Not Too Young to Run rule, how much is their ticket? If you want to run presidency, they ask you to bring 100 million naira to purchase a ticket. You want to run for senator, governorship, and the rest, they ask you to bring like 50 million naira. How many young Nigerians today have that kind of money that they have worked for? Yeah. As a young Nigerian, if you have worked for 50 million naira, will you want to go and use it to buy a ticket to run for an office? So you see, there's a systematically design that have been structured to keep the young Nigerians down. Whether we like it or not, in terms of voting, in terms of participation, within even the political party, especially in APC, you don't have offices given to the younger generation. Even appointments, they don't give to the younger generation. They still give to these old guards, right? And that is why the economy is going down. Because you cannot build with old mindsets. In every developing country, the people that builds every nation are the young people in terms of strength, energy, physical energy, in terms of intellect, and in terms of modern trends, because the world now has gone global. And these old guards, they don't have the initiative, they don't have the capacity, they don't have the idea, they don't even have the strength.
But would you say to a large extent, in terms of this current administration, there's maybe people in their 30s, 40s, could you still term them as youth? But we're seeing an infusion of a small number as ministers,
Those are very few, and if you want to know those guys, they are not the decision maker. They are just like figurehead. They are just errand young boys.
So we've had some young, in quotes, decision makers who have really not had, the attitude that you would expect. Because when we say we want young people in offices, we want young people to take political, the reins of power, we really do we really have those young people who have the credibility and what it takes to run? You've seen young people like, relatively, you can say Yaya Bello is relatively young. When you talk about the old guard, he's not in that clique of the old guard of those people who are in their 60s and 70s, thereabout. We've seen young people who have also, been charged with, misappropriation of funds, embezzlement of, their state funds and all of that. So I'm always trying to look at ways by which we can be more practical when we're talking about bringing young people into offices. Are these young people really, innocent in that sense?
So if you see governance starts from you as an individual. Some of the names of people you're just mentioning right now, they did not aspire to become politician or holding government offices.
But they are young people.
It's these old guards that put them there and give them instruction of what to do. It's totally different from a young Nigerian like myself getting the aspiration to become a leader in terms of governance. So these are two different. Don't ever compare those young people who are just figurehead being placed there by these old guards just to call sentiment to themselves.
Okay, so do we have these neutral young people that you're talking about?
We have a lot of them. I have, like myself, Victor Anilaju. I have Fela Drutoye. I have.
Okay, you're aspiring.
Yes, in 2019, I contested for the office of the president. So we have a lot of good young people, sharp people who are God-fearing, who are people-loving, who trust the system, who have been in Nigeria like myself, been in Nigeria for over 30-something years. So I know the problem of Nigeria because I have experienced it and I'm still experiencing the problem of Nigeria. So within the young people, they are the good ones and they are the bad ones. Within the old people, they are the good ones and they are the bad ones.
Thank you. So we're fair. We're fair there.
So Nigeria is not really about old and young. It's about between the good and the bad. Like for me, I've been given different opportunity to say come in and run, but I don't want to because I don't want to be a boy under a master that wants me to go and perpetuate and carry out evil. And that's why you see that they don't allow people like us to come into office, because when we are in the arms of affair, Nigeria will get better, but these old guards, they are going to lose those free money they get. They are going to lose those unnecessary money they embezzle. They are going to lose those their influence, their fake influence, and Nigeria we become great.
Right.
But as far as Nigeria remain like this, they are happy. These old guards are happy. They like the way leave Nigeria in the same status quo so that they can keep embezzling the fund resources of the people.
Which brings me to the next question, the issue of the system you talked about, and of course the issue of corruption, which is pervasive. It has been enduring for decades now. How would you assess this administration's efforts at reducing, this major deficit in our lives? It's every aspect of Nigeria is embroiled in this issue. Yes, the previous administration promised so much at ending corruption, but it's still enduring to a large extent. So what's your take on that?
Do you want to hear the truth? The APC as political structure don't have the capacity to end anything corruption or misappropriation or injustice in the country. In fact, they are the mother of corruption, they are the mother of injustice, and they are a party that thrive in corruption and injustice.
But why would you single out one party for that? We've had other parties that have ruled this country, for some time now. And beyond the parties, what about individuals themselves?
So I don't want to give some persons some privilege of mentioning names. That's not why I'm here. But the truth about it, the antecedent we have seen, Nigeria has been in the hands of APC is worse. We are not expecting a perfect system, but at least we are expecting a system that have justice, that have less corruption, that thrive in democracy, which APC is not practicing as we speak right now. So, and if they are not practicing democracy, that means there's something else they are practicing, which I can just declare as corruption practice or injustice or whatever we want to call it. But we know that Nigeria was doing better in previous party like PDP than Nigeria is doing now in APC. So if you put the two of them in a scale, you find out that APC is found wanted. And the truth about it is APC is out. 2027, there is no seat for APC anywhere, both internationally, both